Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. Let's talk Sharknado 10-year anniversary. So this was a couple of weeks ago. I saw this. Sorry. Typically, I like to do these Mike's Instant Movie reviews instantly, but this time I waited a few weeks for whatever reason. Um, and let's talk about Sharknado. Now, I had never seen Sharknado before. I'm guessing that a lot of you had seen it. Apparently, this thing was a made-for-television movie. Ian Ziering, who you probably remember from 90210, looks pretty good, 20, 30 years later. He's still in great shape. He plays this, bartender type of guy. And apparently his bar is, I guess, in Florida. And it's more or less the town is being attacked by sharks. And how we get the Sharknado name is that a couple of times in the movie, the sharks get caught up in like a tornado of sharks, which is pretty funny if you're not victim of it. So, what did I think of this movie? I had heard of this whole Sharknado phenomenon. I wasn't really sure what the deal was. I mean, I'd heard this movie. I thought it was a straight to DVD movie. I didn't realize that it aired on television. I think it was the Sci-Fi Channel or something like that. So I wasn't really aware that this thing was such a big deal. I thought it was just some goofy movie that people talked about, but nobody really saw. Like I thought it was just a movie that people knew the title because the title was so goofy. But the movie, they did a nice kind of director's interview after the film where he kind of discussed the background of the whole project and the fact that this theatrical 10-year release, I think he said something like it's 40% new or 40% revamped, re-edited. That some of the special effects and even the aspect ratio or the pixelation had to be improved for a big screen presentation, so it didn't look like crap. But that being said, I think part of the fun of this movie is that some of the special effects really work and some of them don't. So I'm imagining that 10 years ago, the ones they put on television were even, cheaper or worse. I mean, there's just some stuff in here that you really are challenged as an audience member to use your imagination. And hey, that's what it's all about. If you saw the original King Kong movie back in the 30s with, Fay Ray and King Kong on top of the Empire State Building, like it didn't look like reality. But at the time, people got really excited about that type of stuff. And then years later, the audience is very forgiving for these less than stellar uh, special effects because that's kind of the fun, the campiness, if you would. So, I mean, that being said, I thought this movie was, probably better than I thought it would be. I mean, I thought I was going to go see this thing not to laugh at it, but just to say, oh, okay, that's, a hokey, low budget movie and blah, blah, blah. But it was actually entertaining. The storylines in the movie were a little bit off. I mean, there's this kind of thirsty young bartender girl, very beautiful, whoever the actress is, but she's kind of pining over the Ian Zaring character for most of the film. And then she finds out that he's got like an ex-wife, he's got a couple of kids. She's still kind of pining after him, and then she kind of meets his son, and it kind of seems like she's into his son all of a sudden. At least that's the way that I saw this thing. So I mean, interesting that this thirsty young attractive female is kind of throwing herself at everybody. But her character was good, whatever the hell it was called. The stuff of the ex-wife and the blah blah blah. I mean, nothing about this movie was awesome, but I think the word would be fun. Different take on the whole on the whole shark movie thing. As far as your movies, like Jaws and other shark movies. So I mean, I thought Sharknado 10-year anniversary. I went to go see it. I wanted to see what all the hype was about, and I found out. So it's just one of these things. I mean, there's tons of B movies and crap movies made every year, and every once in a while, one or two of them will strike big. So that's what happened here. So, Sharknado, I give it 2.5 stars out of 5. It was decent. Not the end of the world great, but it was fine. It was okay.